On the previous episode of From Death Row to Destiny.
Spiritual realm. So at that young age, I encountered spirits, but didn't know they was. You want to talk about my grandmother and them. One of my grandmothers was a madam.
Wow. A madam?
A madam.
Like in the I guess I could say it in the whorehouse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my other grandmother was a bootlegger.
Wow. Oh, wow.
For instance, I seen him shoot my mother and my grandmother.
Wait, hold up. Now, we're not going to just glaze over that right quick.
And that this white guy dad used to come to the practice and watch me practice. He never would talk to his own son, but he would sit there and talk to me and watch me practice.
So hold on, this cat's son was actually on the squad?
Yeah.
But he came to see you.
His dad used to come and see me, man. Just for instance, me talking to you. You observing my life.
Yeah.
At some point, wouldn't you ask, hey, what's wrong?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've been sitting there. That's the question I've been having this whole time, because I'm like, some of the things that you saying to me, I mean, you can tell yourself that you're okay, but you can't possibly be okay. Like, even at your age, right? Like, some of these things still has to have an effect on you.
But it was actually supposed to be a robbery.
Okay.
I had no idea that it was going to turn out the way it did. I didn't find out until years later.
Warning. This video contains depictions of realistic violence and gore. Viewer discretion is advised.
When I got out, there was the crack cocaine era.
Yeah, the 90s.
I started selling crack.
Okay.
And still had that messed up mentality after doing 18 and a half years now.
I'm pretty sure you're institutionalized at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember this guy that I had sold some drugs to. I had sold him about $300 worth of drugs. And he knew my mom, because my mom used to let him borrow money when I was in prison, because she know he was on drugs. And he owed me about $300, and I called him and told him to come down to my house. His mom and my mom were real good friends. And he was like, man, I'm not coming down to your house. I said, man, come on down here. I said, I ain't gonna do nothing to you. I said, man, your mom's sitting in the kitchen with my mom. So when he come in, we go in my room, I got a 9mm laying on the bed. And I got a quarter of crack cocaine laying on the bed. And I said, man, you owe me some money. I said, you got your stem on you? He said, yeah. I said, let me see it. He said, for what? I said, man, I want to smoke this stuff and find out what it do to people, to cause people to treat people like you doing me. You owe me my money and you ain't paid me.
Wait, hold up. I got to digest that right quick. So you had a whole quarter crack on the bed. And at that moment in time, your mind says, I want to smoke what you smoking, so I can tap in to find out why you do the things that you do, why you under the influence of this here drug.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is what he tell me. He said, man, please don't do that. He said, man, I've been on this stuff for 9 years. I said, man, I don't want to hear that. Give me your stem. So I put a piece of crack on there about this big.
Okay, it's about a 20.
Man, I hit that thing, and I ain't never felt nothing like that in my whole life. It was like, you know.
Yeah. It's euphoria.
Yeah.
Just open you up.
Yeah. And then when you make love to a female, you can last all night long.
On crack cocaine.
But here go the trick. The more you do it,
the more you want.
You can't even get a hard on no more.
Wow.
It takes your nature away.
So essentially, it takes your manhood.
Yeah. Now, when I get out of prison, I'm weighing 195 and I'm solid.
Yeah, you stop. Yeah.
Because all I done was lift weights.
Yeah, you cut.
I'm married.
Okay.
To my first wife. I'll never forget this here. We're in the hotel. And we taking off our clothes and everything, get ready,
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah. Now, remind you now, I done went from 195 to 155.
You lost 40 pounds.
You could see my ribs, man.
On crack cocaine.
Yeah. You could see my ribs. And when she told me, she said, I'm scared to make love to you. She said, look at yourself in the mirror. Man, I turn around and look, man. I seen my ribs, man.
Wow.
And I never looked back in the mirror no more, man. Because I didn't like what I seen.
You despised the image of what you became.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, literally, I never would look in a mirror again because I didn't like what I seen.
Wow.
Not just the physical aspect,
but just the mental.
The person.
Yeah, just yeah.
I didn't like what I seen, So I violate and go back to prison. That's what saved my life because had I not went back, I probably would have still been strung out on crack.
Yeah. All right, so let me ask you this, Mr. Ronnie. All right. So if you can, I need you to describe the sound of death row at 3 a.m. Not the violence, but the silence. What did that silence say to you?
It was just a cold stillness. There was no sound. It was just a cold stillness.
Was that silence frightening? Was that stillness, was it frightening?
No, it wasn't frightening. I had lost all fear when I went in there. Because like I told you, I had to become an animal to survive.
Wow. How many men did you watch walk to their death? And did any of them look back at you?
Well, they didn't execute anybody when we was on death row.
Okay. Yeah, I think you covered that. Okay. So you just saw the men that were on death row.
Yeah.
But no one was executed. All right. So who wrote you letters when you were down and who stopped after year 5? I need you to be specific about the names if you can.
Well, my girlfriend Amy, she did, I don't think it was quite 5 years.
Okay.
But she visited frequently, Then it would stop. Then it would come back again and stop.
Okay.
When you be away from somebody that long, they done moved on with their life.
Yeah, life has to go on.
But being that she was tied in with my family,
yeah,
she would still come periodically.
Gotcha.
And Betty used to write me a lot,
Okay.
That's the one I was telling you about that was married to my cousin.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the fact that she was writing me or coming to see me, so that ended.
Okay. Wow. So was it like after maybe about 5 years ago, it just kind of went absolute silence? Everything just kind of got quiet?
Well, not with Betty. Betty.
Yeah, I know you talked about Betty, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like the ones who you thought you were to hear from, right? Did it just stop?
Yeah, after 5 years, yeah.
Wow. So was there a single book, a single Bible verse, a single conversation that made you decide to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to die the same person that came in here, right? That walked in here. If so, what was it?
Well, I told you it was the Bible. It gave me a lot of comfort.
Okay.
And, like I told you, when I first started reading about the Apostle Paul.
Yeah, who was also a prisoner.
Yeah, and I liked Paul, and I wanted to be like Paul. But when I read about Jesus,
there you go.
I say that's who I want to be like.
Okay. Wow. So, how many years after the release did you have to stop checking over your shoulder for guards and other prisoners, man? Like, How did that transfer? How were you able to transform out of that mindset?
After I got out?
Yes, sir. How long did it take you before you had to stop doing that shoulder check?
I still do the shoulder check now. Crazy as this world is, you know.
Absolutely. You know what? I might have to agree with you on that.
I think I look over my shoulder more now than I did when I was in prison.
Well, I can tell you this. I ain't never been to prison, but I know I shoulder check a lot. So you know what? I can definitely agree with you on that. We might got the shoulder check walking up out of here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about redemption, right? What does redemption smell like? I'm serious when I say this, right? So like, is it a specific smell? Is it a specific meal? Is it, you know, is it the texture of a person's hair? Is it being on the front porch? Like, describe it to me like I've never been free. What does redemption look like?
Being free.
Wow.
You know, being free. Because in prison, you're not living, you're just existing.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing every day.
Yeah, Tip said there's only 2 days that you worry about when you're in prison. The day you go in and the day you come out. But guess what? You didn't have that day of you coming out, though. So, yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I just enjoy the fact that I can eat what I want to eat. I can shower when I want to shower. I can watch what I want to watch on TV. I can go where I want to go.
Yeah.
You know, and like I say, just to be able to look at nature
Yeah.
and see the beauty in nature that I couldn't enjoy when I was in prison.
Wow.
You know.
Something to definitely take in, right? So I'm gonna ask this question. I ain't trying to offend you, but I need you to think about the seriousness of this question. Do you deserve to be happy? Now, when I ask you that, I'm not talking about forgiven, right? We know you already been forgiven, but I'm talking about happy. I need you to think about that and answer that a little bit slow for me.
Yeah, I deserve to be happy because, like I said, man, I put myself through enough hell.
Wow.
So I deserve happiness, man.
Wow.
And two, you have to realize that God said he would give me a peace and a joy that will surpass all my understanding. So I'm just bathing in that right now, man. I'm living in the moment.
Yeah.
You know.
When did you find God in the midst of all this, and what was that like?
I'm still seeking God.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying seeking God.
That's what's up.
You know,
that's good stuff.
And I say that because do we ever really find God?
Not until we meet him.
Yeah.
Until we get there.
So I'm just enjoying the ride of knowing that I got a friend that'll stick closer to me.
On that search.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 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 So I need to ask you, what would you say, right? So right now, Charlotte is in the midst of a turmoil, man. You know, right?
Of course.
I mean, we got wars that are going on. I would probably say that Charlotte is actually, I'm more worried about the city of Charlotte than I am worried about the Middle East right now. I mean, we're in an active war. But we think about it, man, and it's unfortunate. You know, I myself have experienced, you know, I was, you know, a former football coach, man. And so I had a lot of young men here recently that actually come up under my tutelage, man. And I've spoken to them and spoken over their lives, man. But right now, man, these kids are lost. So what would you say, right? We walk out of this podcast studio and there's a 17-year-old young man that's walking down the street with a gun, and he is, for lack of better words, he's pissed off. He's ready to take life. He's ready to do what he needs to do. He's carrying his gun. He feels invincible. I need you to not give me a lecture, right? But if you can just give me a sentence or two, what would you say to that young man?
First of all, I would let him know that it's a better way. And I would share my experience with him about what I went through. But it's a better way, man. You don't have to deal with that with a gun. You know, you don't have to try to prove to someone that you bad.
Yeah.
Because stop and think for a moment. If you take somebody's life and get caught,
Yeah.
your life is over.
Finito.
Your family's life is over because they do time when you do time.
Finito. Absolutely. 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 So here's the final question I got for you. Okay. So when you finally leave this place, for real, not by the state, not on paper, but when you get an opportunity to exit and go see God, what do you want people to say about Ronnie Young that has absolutely nothing to do with 1973?
Just remember me as the person that I have become now and not the person that I was, because I always try to make an impression on people by being positive. So just remember me as someone that wants people to enjoy life like I'm enjoying it now.
Wow.
Life is beautiful, man.
Absolutely.
It's what you make it.
It absolutely is.
You can make it your heaven or you can make it your hell.
It absolutely is. You're absolutely right.
See, I didn't know that a long time ago. I didn't know I had a choice.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. Wow. I tell you what, Mr. Ronnie, I want to thank you, man. First and foremost, I want to thank you for joining me on this podcast, man. I absolutely enjoyed your story. I found it very phenomenal. I found it very eye-opening. And like I told you, this is not a true crime podcast. We're not here to glorify crime. We're not here to glorify the actions that were actually done, right? You were 17 years old, man. You were searching for your soul. So I dare not allow you to be villainized. But I also am not looking to have you vindicated. That has already happened, right? I don't have a heaven and hell to put you in. So the purpose of this podcast was to hear your story, for you to come in and speak life into a dead situation. For you, there's a young man that's watching this podcast right now, man, that is sitting in that very fateful day of August the 17th, 1973, and he don't have no other outlet but your words to be able to turn him away from what it is that he's getting ready to do. So I definitely appreciate you. I want to thank you for your time. I do truly believe that this is not the last of, I myself. I don't even think I introduced myself, y'all. I'm Corey Newton, man. This is actually my first podcast. I believe me and Mr. Ronnie probably broke ground together, man. So let's just give it up for ourselves, right?
In saying that, the only thing I want to leave in saying this, always remember, it takes a second to get in trouble, but it takes a lifetime to get out of it.
Oh, man, you said that. You said that. That's powerful. Man, if y'all don't get anything else out of this, man, I hope y'all got that. Because that's real life, right? That ain't some mystical quote. That ain't some, some internet meme that you're going to see. That's real life. And I received that, and I hear that, and I hope all y'all other young people, everybody in general receive that. But again, man, this has been the 4-part series of From Death Row to Destiny, the Ronnie Young tapes. All right. So we thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. We look forward to y'all comments and y'all subscribe to the videos, man. We definitely want to hear from y'all. But more importantly, we want Mr. Ronnie to go ahead and get this story out here, man. I mean, it's incredible, man. This guy is, can I share your age, Mr. Ronnie?
Go ahead.
This guy is 69 years old, y'all. Everybody in his story, he is still living here, and they are more than likely gone. And that just lets you know that that's God's favor over his life, in spite of, I want to say that, in spite of. So this right here is a true testament to what redemption looks like. But more importantly, again, this is From Death Row to Destiny. We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. And we'll see y'all on the other side. Thank you.
Deuces.
sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be notified of future episodes and interviews of From Death Row to Destiny.